Theodora Vance wasn't a woman to ask for much, but when she did, she expected her family to deliver, and this time it was more important than ever before. She stood in the middle of the Vance family living room, flanked by two men, both with the same unruly mop of dark hair that sat atop their handsome faces, except Theodore's face was hidden behind an expensive suit. The third man in the room, her father, looked like he wanted to disappear into the wallpaper. "I won't ask again," Theo said, her voice dangerously quiet. "Give me what I asked for, or don't even bother coming to me again." She turned and swept out of the room before either of them could speak. Left standing in the middle of the opulent living room, the men stared at the closed door. "I thought we agreed," one of the men finally said, running a hand through his hair. "We did," her father admitted. "But Teddy's not agreeing to marry Royce unless I give her what she wants." "You can't be serious," the other man said, incredulously. "She can't possibly expect us to agree to that." "That is exactly what she expects," her father said, rubbing a hand down his already creased suit. "And honestly, it might be for the best. She would never accept a marriage with just one of us. So if we want her to be happy, we have no choice." The men looked at each other. They were twins, identical in appearance, different in personality. One had the cautious nature of a planner, the other the easy charm of a salesman. Yet they worked in perfect harmony. Together they ran the Vance Corporation, an empire built by their grandfather. "Why does she want this anyway?" the planner asked. "She saw how unhappy our mother was," her father said, his voice barely a whisper, "and she doesn't want that life for herself. She wants to be able to choose," the salesman sighed. "So we let her choose between us." "How is that any different than making her choose one of us to marry?" "Because she won't have to," the father said. "She can choose to walk away from both of us. We give her the option of remaining independent." "If she chooses that, then what?" the planner asked. Her father shrugged. "Then we build a life with someone else. I know it's not ideal, but it's better than nothing, don't you think? It beats having a bitter, resentful wife who wishes she had never married one of us." The twins didn't answer. They knew their father spoke the truth. Their mother had been nothing but a shadow of her former self after she married their father. "So what do we tell her?" the salesman finally asked. Her father hesitated. "Just that, we need some time to think about it. Give us a week, maybe less." "A week," the planner repeated, his eyes narrowed. "She won't give us a week. She'll find someone else if she thinks we're not going to agree." Their father nodded grimly. "Then so be it." As the twins made their way to the car, the salesman couldn't help but steal another glance at the imposing house. "I still say we should just tell her no," he said once they were buckled in and the driver started the car. The planner snorted. "And you'd be willing to give up the company?" "What? No, of course not. But she's just a girl. Surely we can convince her to reconsider." "I doubt it," the planner replied. "Besides, why should we give up something we've worked so hard for when she has everything to gain by agreeing?" "It's because it's what we promised her mother we would never do," the salesman argued, "and it's the only way to ensure she's happy. If we break our word to her, she'll spend the rest of her life resenting us. At least this way she'll hold her head high knowing she made the choice herself." The planner remained silent. He knew his brother was right, but he hated backing down. Not to mention, he had his eyes set on a particular blind tycoon who had recently come to town. He'd done everything in his power to make sure the man fell in love with Theo, and now he was willing to throw all of that away. Theo needed a lot of convincing, but eventually the twins got what they wanted. A week later, Theo found them waiting for her in the same room where she'd given them her ultimatum. "I presume you've made your decision," she said, her eyes flickering between them. "We have," the planner replied. "You may choose to marry one of us, and if I choose to remain independent," she pressed, "then we will respect your decision." The salesman finished for him. Theo's heart soared. She really had them convinced. But then she noticed something was off. Both their faces were strained, their eyes distant. "Is something wrong?" she asked. "Nothing," they both said at once. She studied them for a moment, searching their faces, but saw no sign of deception. So she did what she had to do. She chose the one she loved, and it wasn't the one she had hoped it would be. Years passed and Theo grew increasingly unhappy. She tried to ignore it, blaming it on the twins' constant bickering and the stress of keeping their company afloat. But the truth was, she hadn't chosen to be with the man she loved. She'd chosen to be with the man who had listened to her, the man who had put her happiness before his own. One evening, she found him staring out the window of their office, his shoulders slumped. "What are you thinking about?" she asked, resting a hand on his arm. He jumped slightly as if startled and quickly turned to face her. "Nothing," he said, forcing a smile. "Just thinking how lucky I am to have you, to have us." "Are you sure?" she whispered, tears stinging her eyes. He frowned, his eyes searching hers. "What do you mean? Am I really all that you think I am?" she asked, pulling away from him. "Or was I just something you had to have because you felt sorry for me?" He reached for her, but she stepped back. "Don't touch me. Don't lie to me." He hesitated, then slowly withdrew his hand. "What are you talking about, Theo? Of course, you're not just something I had to have. You're my wife. I love you. Don't you remember?" She nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I remember. I just wish I had chosen you out of love instead of pity." His face fell and he looked away. "Perhaps you did, Theo. Perhaps we all make decisions based on emotions we don't understand until much later. You know what I mean?" she whispered, her voice thick with tears. "I don't belong here. With you, I don't want your pity. I want love." He stared at her for a long moment before reaching out and cupping her face in his hands. His thumbs brushed away her tears. "I'm sorry, Theo. I never meant to make you feel this way. I truly believe I'm the luckiest man alive to have you by my side. But if you don't feel the same, then maybe it's best we part ways." He leaned in and kissed her, a soft, lingering kiss that spoke volumes of his love and devotion. Then he pulled away, his eyes shining with unshed tears. "Go, Theo. Find the love you deserve. Find the man who makes you forget you ever had to choose between two." She stumbled out of the office, tears streaming down her face. As she walked away, she heard him call out to her, his voice hoarse with emotion. "Be happy, Theo. Be very happy." When she turned to look, she saw a single tear rolling down his cheek. In that moment, she knew he was right. She had to let him go. She owed it to him, to herself, to find the love that fate had denied them both.